Hello, 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 and welcome. My name is Barbara J. Beckley, and I am the CEO of the Diamond Factor Network. I am also a 12-time Amazon bestseller. I am also a purpose and visibility strategist, and I'm also the co-founder of Celebrate You Embracing Her Wellness. So I got all that out the way. And I just wanted to, and there's a reason for what I said. Now, usually when you come on stages or if you're doing a webinar or workshop, which I'm going to be doing a small little webinar workshop right now with you. But before I start, it's good. I want to just give you a side note. When you're introducing yourself, depending on what you put in your introduction, that that tells you where you're kind of going with what you're trying to say. Now, what I mean by that is I could have just said, "Hi, my name is Barbara J. Beckley." Boom, right? But it's about credibility. And if you're teaching a workshop, a webinar, or you're coming on giving some really deep information, you want to make sure you put that credibility there so people at least know what you do. Have you, done this for a while? Are you doing it now? So that's so important for you. And it's okay to love on you. It's okay to express that about you because it's not so much of, oh, I think I'm all that, which, you are all that. Okay. But the other part of it is to make sure people understand that you're all that for them. See, that's what it's all about. You want to make sure if you're serving people and you're guiding them to whatever topics, whatever you do in your business or maybe personal that you're doing some special projects for or whatever the case may be, you want to make sure you're putting it out there who you are and how you bring your gifts, your talents, your expertise to the table. Okay. So that's just, already giving you a teachable moment here. But I wanted to come on today because I want to talk about, since we are in the midterm year, we're in the middle, basically started really in July 1st. We are midterm in 2024. Wow, right? You're probably like, wow, it's already July. I mean, it's kind of sad that I'm looking at things on Hallmark station and they're doing Christmas movies. Really? Really? I mean, I really wanted to call up and say, could you at least wait till October? Could you at least wait till October? I mean, I would even give them a little bit the end of September. But in July, but I notice a lot of people are doing, I see some people doing, Christmas in July, so they're kind of taking that theme. But then Hallmark, they're not doing Christmas in July. They're just doing Christmas movies. I was like, wow. So that's my little pet peeve right now. But saying all that, we are in the middle of the year. And I put something together because I don't know about you, but I'll use me because I can see, if I talk about others, I'll get myself in trouble. And I don't want to talk about others, Now, if they want to just, volunteer and put their hands up and say, yeah, that's me, or yeah, I'm dealing with that too, then that's fine. But I'll use me as an example. I always say, learn from Barbara J. Beckley, good, bad, and ugly. So going back to goals and plans at the beginning of 2024, can we all go back? Some people might be like, wow, that is going back a little bit. And it was just 6 months ago, but it seems like an eternity. So if you go back to what you first put out there, I mean, some people do the New Year's resolutions. Some people say I'm doing my action plans for the year. Everybody calls it maybe a different name, but basically it's just goals that you're trying to set for yourself, be it in your business or in your personal life, right? We all start at the beginning. I feel like we start off just, especially when you have a lot of different platforms and businesses telling you need to put your goals up. Have you started your goals? This is 2024. We're in January. Some of them start in December because usually they always say you should start maybe 2 or 3 months before you go into the new year. So we heard all that. We've probably been through vision boards, type of things, and just the list goes on because I've done it. I did it. I taught one and I've been in a few. You did it. And then now you set those goals. You'd be like, yeah, I got it all down plan. And then January hits and you're just, okay, I'm ready to go. And then February hits, the month of love. Maybe birthdays, anniversaries, Valentine's Days, whatever's happening in your world. Things get kind of maybe a little hectic. Maybe your job is giving you more work. Maybe your business is coming in more, which is good. That means you're increasing. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you have to really push to say, okay, I need to get some more clients. All that could have been happening January, February, March. March comes in, same thing. April, now it's tax time. Now you got to do all that. Make sure. May flowers. So the seasons are changing. You got to figure out, okay, what's seasonal for you? What's going on in your world, right? And then May and then June. Then you start thinking, wow, I'm at June. Really? Then you kind of look back and you look at your goals maybe, and you say, did I even touch the goals? Did I even go back when it happened in February, March, and April? Did I go back and do a check on how I'm doing my goals? Have you been there? I know I have. So I told myself, I said, it's all about giving. Like I said, it's all about sharing. It's all about, teachable moments and all that good stuff. So this is what I want to do. I want to navigating change in your goals and plans, navigating that. Okay, so I'm going to start. Yes, I have a little PowerPoint for you. Navigating Change That Goes by Barbara Beckley. So I'm going to go through some tips, some reminders, just things that you can kind of draw to. Because the first thing I want to make sure before I even start the PowerPoint is to let you know that it's okay. It's okay if you didn't make some of the goals. It's okay. Maybe you didn't touch none of them. It's okay. And I want to go through some steps and give you some Usha moments where you can just sit back and say to yourself, yeah, I'm going to give me some grace right now. And I think that's what we all need is some grace. It's so easy to beat ourselves up and tell ourselves, well, I didn't get that goal done. Dang. And I was supposed to do this goal. And that didn't go through. Oh, and maybe if I would have done this, it would have been done better. All that goes in your head. That's so easy to put all that in your head when it talks about goal setting and planning when you did the beginning of the year. And now we're in July and now you're panicking. And let's not even talk about October, November coming around the corner. Then you're really going to be like, oh no, it's going to be 2025. I didn't get nothing done. Okay. Right now, I'm giving permission for everybody to give themselves grace right now. I had to give myself grace. I want to give you some grace. And the reason why I'm pushing that right now is because we have to make sure that our energy that we're spending time on is in a positive and productive way. I've been doing a new thing lately for since beginning of the end of last year to now. I've been telling myself and asking the question to myself, when I'm working on something, I don't care what it is for my day job, it's for my business, it's for something personal, it's a project, whatever it is, I always ask myself the question, if I go down that rabbit hole, and don't have to even be negative sometimes, just going down rabbit holes. You all been going down rabbit holes sometime and be like, okay, how did I get here? Why am I even talking about this? Why am I even working on this? Why am I spending all this energy on this? And this has nothing to do with what I'm supposed to be having a priority for or something that's supposed to be focusing on. Have you been there before? Have you been there before? I know I have. So I always ask the question going back, is my energy being used in the right direction of where I need to go? And if I can answer that question real quickly and say, yes, it is, then okay, you're doing an okay checkpoint. If you can't answer that question, or you just have just a little inkling in your head saying to yourself, I wasted a whole hour talking about how something wasn't getting worked out. That was wasted energy. Now, on the other hand of it, now, if you talk for a whole hour about a problem, but then you did like maybe 10 minutes of the problem, and then the rest of the time you spent on finding solutions to solve the problem and learning curves that you learned through the whole thing, that's a win. That's a win for you. But if you spend a whole hour just talking about the problem, and we know you probably done it, I probably done it, well, you've seen other people do it. And again, where's that energy going? That energy don't need to be going for a whole hour talking about a problem. The energy needs to be, okay, here's the problem. We need to get it fixed. How we're going to do this. If you need to bring in the troops, as I say, bring in other people in your life to help you. Don't get so bent out of shape with yourself where you can't get a lending hand somewhere, because again, you don't want to waste that energy. And the energy, to me, waste energy goes with time. You know how you hear everybody say, you can't get time back. I can't get 8 o'clock this morning Central Time. I can't get that back. It's gone. In fact, time is moving right now. So you can't get time back. So why waste it on things that's not getting you to that next level? Okay, I got on my little soapbox. I'm going to get into some tips. Okay, going back, navigating change, goals, in your plan. So first, where are you now? That's the question. Where are you now? And again, don't beat yourself up. You're going to be hearing me saying this a lot. Do not beat yourself up if you're not where you want to be right this second, because life happens. Like the young people say, I don't know if the young people are saying this now, but I hear it a lot. Life is lifing. I hear that, life is lifing. Yeah. So, I mean, then you can take that down a negative or positive. But, I just say to myself, what I said earlier, we're going to give ourselves some grace. But I want you to ask the question, because we have to ask the question. It is okay to ask the question. Where are you now? Where are you now in your goals? So I want you to, if you're watching this on a replay or live, write down, list your 3 goals that you probably had for the beginning of January. Just 3, not 5, not 10, not 20, not 30, not 50. And if you got 50, if you got over, let's just say, this is just my suggestion. If you had over, let's say 5 goals, that's too many. And you're probably saying, why, Barbara? I could get stuff done quickly. I'm good at what I do. And that's cool. And if you can, I love it. I love you. I love you for completing it. But I always tell people, be realistic in your goals. That's part of that old SMART system that we have goals. And I'm not even going to talk about the SMART system with this, because I tell myself, if that SMART system works so well, not down in it, then more people need to put action to it, and the more we would get more stuff done, right? We wouldn't have to sit here and be like, oh God, this haven't got done yet. So yes, use the techniques that works for you, right? I'll use the techniques that works for me, but overall, we just need to see how it's progressing in our lives. And again, through all of that, we want to give ourselves some grace at the same time. So I want you to list 3 goals that you had at the beginning. Just list them. Now, if you're like some people I talked to the other day, I had some people that finished their 3 goals that they had and went on to 3 other ones. I had some people that hit the 3 goals in different areas, but didn't really get it done. Then I had some people that don't even know where they put the 3 goals at. You can't even find them. I've been there, done that. Don't know where they are. I even emailed them to myself. See, I tell some people, sometimes you just got to do what you have to do in order to remember things. Sometimes I email my goals to myself. So I can always say, well, I can always pull up the email that I sent to myself. That's a tip, small tip on the side. So that's what I want you to do now is list, if you remember, list your 3 goals that you had way at the beginning and keep that to the side. Now, you want to, first suggestion, focus on the journey. Focus on your journey. And what I mean by that, remember that your journey towards your goals is the important as the destination. You want to focus on your progress you made and the skills you developed along the way. So it's one thing to say, oh, I got it done, check. But it's another thing to tell yourself, you know what? I really enjoyed going towards my goals and learning different things as I was doing my goals. Because that, I found out by doing that, other things, learning skills came out of it. So that's a win when you think about it. So you want to enjoy the journey. You want to enjoy the ride. of your life. You don't want to just sit there and just be and then be so, oh, I can't, I got it done. Okay, I got it done. Are everybody okay? I got it done. And then you got to think to yourself, who is telling you, unless it's a project with somebody or unless it's a work goal, if it's something that you're doing for yourself, who is the person that's coming to you saying, you didn't get it done, you didn't do it right, did you learn anything from that, you wasted I mean, we always get this other person sometime in our head talking to us, and I sometimes want to say, okay, where did you come from? Because I don't want you to be my accountability right now. You're making me feel bad, and you're making myself beat myself up. So you need to get rid of those type of talks out of your head and get the other talk in your head and say, okay, as you were going along with the goal, did you learn something through the journey? Did you pick up some other skills? Did you find different ways to master certain things? Those are questions. That's the things that you want to really get when you're doing towards the journey of your goals. Next thing, practice self-compassion. Told you, I'm showing us a lot of love, a lot of grace today with goals. Remember that it's okay to change your goals. Life happens. It's okay if you didn't meet them. Maybe they wasn't a big priority in your life. Maybe you needed to change what the goal was. Maybe you need to look at the bigger picture again and say, well, maybe this goal is not really relevant to me. Those are questions you could ask yourself. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge life is unpredictable. Unpredictable. And I want to just put myself out here by saying, just to give you that, just a month and a half ago, and I want to make sure I give you the tips, so I'll make this short, but just a month and a half ago, I was kind of on a hiatus, and not so much of a hiatus like a vacation, sitting back, drinking Bahama Mama's non-alcoholic or just at the beach or wherever I was at. No, Barbara J. Beckley had a very big health crisis to the point where I was not just in the hospital one time, I was in the hospital 2 times. Did I plan for that? No. Did I want that to happen? No. Did it stop a lot of things with my goals and things I was doing for my business and my personal life and daytime? Yeah. It had a hit. It was a hit, and I have to admit that. But life happens. Things happen. And at the beginning, I had to get on myself because first, when I was laying in the hospital the first time, out of everything, can you believe I would ask the question, well, I haven't ran my shows, or I haven't, the people that I help for their shows or produce their shows, I had to tell them I can't do it because I'm in the hospital. Really, Barbara? Really? Shame on Barbara Beckley. Shame on Barbara J. Beckley. I should have never asked those questions. But you know what? Sometime in life, when life happens, life's lifing, as they say, sometimes will sit your butt down and really, really, really think about what's more important. And that's what happened to me a month and a half ago. After I got sat down by getting in the health challenges and being in the hospital twice, back to back, back to back, I laid there and I told myself, I said, okay, well, I'm sitting here worried about everything that's supposed to be doing for somebody or something or myself. What's going on right now with you and your body right now, Barbara? This is priority, is you getting yourself together. And not only that, when I was laying in the hospital, I was also thinking about the energy again, what I was talking about earlier. How much energy are you putting in things that might not even be irrelevant? Or maybe it's not your main mission in life and purpose, that you want to just help others and you're just doing other things. Maybe you can give that to somebody else. Maybe you can delegate. Maybe it's something that shouldn't even be on your list. And I started thinking and really just taking in a lot and appreciating my time here on this earth and appreciating life in general and rephrasing and going back to my purpose. Because with all that was going on, and I was so worried about, getting things done and getting back on the, computer and all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, if you're not here and your health is not that good, then you're no use to anybody. You can't help nobody. I mean, you can't hardly help yourself. I couldn't hardly get out of bed. But I'm sitting there telling me I need to do whatever. No, you need to sit your butt down, which I had to do. It was like almost forced, and say, what is important right now? So coming out of all that and being able to come back on, which I'm so glad I'm back on. I'm so glad I'm back on teaching and doing things. But I'm looking things in a different light. And that's what I said when I said we got to give ourselves some grace. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge life. It can be unpredictable. It wouldn't be life if it wasn't. Good and bad or ugly. And I really don't want to say bad and ugly, because even the bad and ugly, you still learn from it. I mean, I feel like it was bad and ugly with what I was in the hospital, but there was so many things that was taken out of it that helped me and guided me and reminded me of things of what I needed to do. So always look for those lessons learned when life is unpredictable. Next thing, reset and adjust. Reevaluate your goals, adjust them, fit to your current priorities and circumstances. I had to do that. Just going back to my story, being in the hospital after a month, I had to readjust goals. I had to take some goals out that didn't even make sense. It seemed like it made sense in January, but then now it didn't make any kind of sense because I wasn't even doing some of the things. I changed some things with my brand. I'm like, okay, I don't need to do this. Goal is irrelevant now. Or maybe I need to adjust some of the goals to add something to it and delete some. And then I had to look at the whole big picture again, because a lot of times we need to keep looking at the bigger picture of where you're trying to go with your smaller goals. So reevaluating, making adjustments is okay. Next thing, start fresh. Sometimes you need to start that journey fresh. Oh, like I said just a minute ago, some of your goals might not be irrelevant anymore. Start fresh with new goals. Align them to your priorities. Align them to your purpose. I always tell people your purpose should be bigger than any kind of fears or anything that's going in a negative realm. I always say, what is your purpose? I keep asking people over again, what is your main purpose here? If you're letting everything get to that purpose, then your purpose must not be big enough for you. And some things might not be irrelevant for the purpose that you're trying to do. And that goes back to your goals. Are these particular goals that you did in January, are they irrelevant? Do you need to start from scratch? Do you need to relook at some things? Do you need to put some things off for a minute? Maybe it's something you can give to somebody else and say, you know what? Hey, let's do this together. Or I'll pay you. That's an investment to do boom, boom, boom. So you need to kind of align with your priorities, your purpose. Remember that. Identify lessons learned. Talked a little bit about that before. It's really important to reflect on what you've learned. It's really important to see the skills and the learning curves and maybe the new values that you adjusted while you were working towards your goals or not working towards your goals. Identify what worked. Identify what's the future goals. I mean, if something didn't work on trying to get to your goals, maybe you need to stop that tool that you're using and use something else. If writing down on a piece of paper your goals is not getting you to work on your goals, then maybe you need to try something different. Maybe you do something automatic. Maybe you need to get something that's sending something to your phone every day saying beep, 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 beep. Did you start on your goals? Beep, 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 beep. Some people might need that. Other people might, like I said earlier, maybe you need to send your goals to yourself. Text your goals to yourself. Send a reminder so it reminds you of your goals. Record yourself with the goals. Record yourself. Say, I have number 1 goal, I need to do this. Number 2 goal, I need to do this. And then send the recording to keep it on your phone and listen to that recording. So I'm just showing you ways of maybe you need to adjust why maybe some things weren't working. I always tell people, if you can keep on doing over and over again, what is that? That's insanity, right? If you keep doing something over and over again, looking for different results, that's insanity. And I know we're all too intelligent and smart for that. Then if you're going either starting, restarting, reassessing, whatever you're doing with your goals, break down big goals into small ones. I know people probably told you that, going back to the SMART thing and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times we still tend to have in our mind, we put this big goal out there because we want to get to it so quick. And that's what I tell people. I said the reason why I probably a lot of times we still put that big goal down first is because we just want to get to it. We want to see it happen, right? And it will, but it takes time. And again, what did I say earlier about enjoying the journey of your goals? You can't enjoy the journey when you got this big goal. It's like this big thing in front of you. And every day when you don't get to it, what happens? You get upset, you get depressed, you start getting loud by yelling at yourself. You might start yelling at others. You might just say, forget the whole thing. I mean, and the list goes on. But if you break it down into little small goals, then it makes it easier for you to reach the big one. And again, you're learning as you're moving forward. You're gaining more skills. You're gaining more insight. You're gaining things that, like I said earlier, all that stuff I said about maybe, you have, you learned something, a skill that creates a whole nother thing for you in your business. You never know. But if you would have rushed it or looked at that big goal, you would have missed out on some creativity that you might have missed that while you're going through your goals. So make sure you break down the big goals. Break them down. If it's, losing, I mean, a lot of people use the example, losing weight or, making money, making a certain amount of money. Break the money down. A lot of people say, oh, I want to make $1 million at the end of the year. That's your big goal. Now, let's go backwards now. Let's go backwards. What are you going to do every week? Or what are you going to do every day to get that big goal to 1 million that you want to do at the end of the year? So you got to go backwards. You got to go backwards and piece it out. And that will help you with your goals. So if you're struggling to make progress, try breaking them down, make them small, make it more manageable. Focus and motivate again. Keep that motivation about, like I said, what is your grand purpose of what you're trying to do? That should be your foundation for any goal, for anything you do, is the purpose, your mission, your values, whatever that's under you. That should motivate you to do what you do. And like I said, if it doesn't motivate you, then it's not big enough. Your purpose and your mission, your values in your life is not big enough. Then seek support. Why do we have a problem asking for help? I think I'm asking myself that question. Why do we have such a problem asking for help? I know I'm putting this, I put this particular teaching in another wonderful, amazing group. I'm plugging it right now because I'm a part and co-founder of it. Celebrate You Embracing Her Wellness. We're celebrating 5 years in right now. Amazing. And it's not just me and the visionary co-founder, LaWanna Bradford, celebrating it. It's all of us. I always say all the queens, all the ladies in there. We got either 1,500 now people in the group. Everybody has a different gift. Everybody does different things. Everybody has different business that they do. If you're struggling in something, like say you're struggling in accounting in your business, why are you sitting there? Here's where I go with the energy now. Putting all this energy, trying to learn it, trying to get it together, all this kind of stuff, wasting time, deadlines are going by, your taxes are going by, all that stuff, bookkeeping going by, because you just have to be the one to do it. Why? Seek help. And I mentioned the group as an example because out of 1,500 ladies in the group, I know there's a few that are accountants or consultants or even strategists like Mrs. LaWanna Bradford, or visibility consultants, and the list goes on. Seek the support that you need so you don't have to waste that energy. Remember, you can't get the time back. So don't be afraid from friends, family, mentors, associates. If you're struggling to achieve your goals and it's something that this is not your, what I want to say, it's just not your thing. I tell people in a heartbeat, sales is not really my thing. And some people ask me, well, Barbara, you have a business. You need to have sales as your thing. And you're right. That's why I get help. That's why I seek support. That's why I learn and grow from others. That's why I bring people in, because I know that's not my talent, but I know other people has that talent and I bring them into my world. So I'm not going to be doing that, going around and waiting and all the energy trying to figure things out. So reach out, Because when you don't reach out and seek the help that you need to help you move that needle in your goals or whatever you're trying to do, first of all, you're putting yourself to the side of your gifts that you really should be putting more time in. That's one. Second, you can be helping others in the gifts that you need help in to them to come in and grow, and you get a chance to help them at the same time. It's all about servant leadership. It's all about serving, if that's your value that you believe in. So get the help. Let's get the help. So I want to end it at this. And people probably heard this before. This is a reminder quote. This is not like my quote, but I wanted to put it out there. It's not about competing with others. It's about competing with yourself. Then I said, make sure make sure you're doing something that makes your heart sing. And I did a little misprint there, but I want to just elaborate a little bit on that because I'm looking at the time. I want to make sure, again, my energy, the time is not being wasted too much. And I'm giving you something that you could take in and say, okay, I've learned something from Barbara on this. You're not in competition of others. You're running the race for yourself to make sure you get to whatever finish line you're trying to get. You're going to look this way and you're going to look that way. You're going to see a lot of other people doing it. You might see some people that's going really, really, really fast and just shoot. Then you're going to see some people that kind of like on the side, on the back of you and just kind of crawling, kind of skipping and jumping a little bit. Then you're going to see people maybe right next to you looking, saying, hey, how you doing? Hey. And you're just moving however you're moving. Whatever you're doing, I always tell people, don't look at so much of others. Just stay in the race. If it means that you have to crawl a little bit sometime, it means that you have to scoot. You know how the little babies, they scoot up when they're trying to walk or they're trying to get up and do that little scooty. Sometimes we got to do that. And sometimes you might just, do a little walk, just a little strut. You're just strutting in the race, in their journey of your goals in life. And then sometimes you might be like, hey, I got this. I got it. And you're running and you're running and you're running. And sometimes you're like, hey, I'm really going. I'm really jamming. And then sometimes you might start from scratch again, do a little scoot again. Because now maybe in the midst of you doing your goals, you're starting to learn new things. Like I said, you're starting to grasp on different things. You're starting to get motivated in certain areas. You're starting to get more creative. So that's going to get you to go back a little bit, not back. I don't want to say because you're never going back. It's going to get you to maybe slow the pace a little bit because you want to pick up those skills. You want to pick up that learning curve. You want to enjoy the journey and not just. So please, as I say, please give yourself some grace when you're talking about your goals. We're in mid-year. I know that as soon as somebody says, oh, we're in mid-year, everybody just loses it. Don't be the one. You're in competition of you, not others. Celebrate others. Seek the support that can help you move your needle in life. But never beat yourself for the time to say, I'm not doing it because I don't look at anybody. You're not a quitter. You're just in the race at a certain time in your life. Enjoy, and I want to say this over and over again, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey and celebrate the victories in your life. And with that said, this is Barbara Beckley again, just kind of navigating changes in your goals and plans. Want to give you some tips, want to give you some motivative stuff, and just want to let you know that, remember, you are important. You have that. And I say I have the Diamond Feather Network. I always tell people you have the diamond. You have a special gift in you. So you need to make that as your foundation because other people, yes, other people are waiting for your diamond to blossom, to shine in the world so they can learn and they can grow from your gifts and we can grow from each other's gifts. With that said, see you later. Take care.